Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Well, hello there. I hope everyone's doing okay. It's just me all by my lonesome, but hope we're doing all right. This afternoon, or unless you're on the other side of the pond, this evening. But okay. Maybe I won't be by myself. Yeah, I like it too, to be fair. So, yeah, let me not waffle around too much, but yeah, I quite like it too. But welcome one and all to round 2 of IRO GTSC. Let's see. For anyone who's not familiar with the track, we are at Laguna Seca. this time around for round 2. So yeah, we are in America, more or less racing in the desert, kind of in a sense, but that's where we're going to be at, and hope everyone's doing okay this weekend. Or let's see, rules. And for anyone not familiar with the rules, you got 2 cents. So we're obviously doing the first stint, and this is the second split. You got 67 laps, but the first lap is an out lap, and then our racers have to come in on the I think it was lap 66, which will be their in lap. As you can see, tire wear and fuels both at ×1. Fuels at rate is 3 liters a second. You start with your fuel for your stint. Mediums and softs are required. Have your brake balance. There is heavy damage, so you gotta be careful with that. Let's see. Weather is either there's no technically actual but random, and the time is ×2. But yes, so we got a good one on for you. Let's keep it moving. Let's see, trying to make sure I stay on task and not dabble around too much. All right, and then there's your schedule. Obviously, we're in round 2, so we're at Laguna Seca. Next month, we'll find ourselves at Monza, the Festival of Speed, as they say. So that should be pretty fun. For anyone curious on the results of the last round, there you go. That was the results after round 1. So that's how everyone did. I was like, looking pretty good. Would like to see PhD a bit higher up, but not bad, all things considered. And let's see, did that. And if you want to see their standings, the standings after that for split 2 is, that's what your standings look like before round 2. So FAF has got a lead, but we'll see if they have the lead after this one. Anything else? Am I missing? Have that, needed to have that on. Looked at the schedule, track map, weather, rules. I think we're spotter guide, by the way. What we can do. So take that down, and here's your spotter guide for those unfamiliar with the teams and or drivers for split 2. So obviously, me coming from PhD, I'll definitely be pulling for PhD. So we got that. But yeah, yes. All right, let's see. Gosh, I mean, obviously we're going to have to keep an eye out for FAF, Full Acceleration Force. So got that. But yes, I think that is just about everything. So now, I guess we're ready, I suppose. give everyone the warning. Starting soon. Yeah, I'm kind of like on my own at the moment, so okay. We're starting soon. Where? Race starting soon. Ah, there it is. It was all the way at the bottom.
Share my screen, so hopefully we can get that rectified before my next stint, because I feel like you would, we would do.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. My bad. I don't know what happened. It just redirected me here.
No worries. I put up starting soon in the chat, since supposed to be starting like already by now. But yeah, I saw Nolander is in the lobby.
Indeed. I just jumped into the chat
Yeah.
as well a little while ago. How we all doing, folks?
It's been a busy day, but doing all right. A little on the hungry side.
I hear you there. I have had the pretty horrible start to my day, actually. So my apologies to everybody. I already let Sig know what was going on and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I came home to discover that my TV had decided to quit on me. I had sound but no picture, so in my scramble to fix that so that I could do commentary today, because it's a little hard to do commentary on a race you can't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But managed to get a little 27-inch TV hooked up last night, and was up way later trying to scramble around to figure out what I was going to do. Get that all sorted. I freaking mistakenly left my phone sitting on my front porch. Well, it turns out I can't hear my alarm go off from out there.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, guess as long as we have everyone that's supposed to be in here, because I see we have 13 drivers entered.
Yeah, that is accurate. I
Okay.
think Team Lime is not gonna make it.
Okay.
So,
That's unfortunate.
actually, is it? Here I go again. I'm getting Team Lime and Team Cyan backwards.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
you
God.
said. I think
Cyan
you
was
said, yeah. So, okay, I'll go ahead and start up the session.
Yeah, it's Team Lime. I was right
Okay.
the first time.
All right, but yeah, there you go. Good luck to everyone qualifying. Okay. All right, that looks good. All right, and I need there. Go. All right. Okay. But yeah, I legit haven't eaten anything all day, so I'm just like got some Reese's Puffs like snack bar treats, and so I'm like eating that to tide me over.
I'm in the same boat.
But there we go.
Well, I just woke up like 20 minutes ago myself, so.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I got everything all set up. I was mentioning I went over like all the schedule and rules and weather and all the usual spiel you would go for the beginning of a split already. Mediums and software are required in race, so you have that. But yeah, obviously me coming from PhD, I'm gonna always be pulling for PhD. But yeah, looked at the standings prior to this round, and curious to see if Full Acceleration Force will actually hold on to their lead after this race. Because they're the current ones that are the leaders after round one. So, well, that's curious. But yeah, with this track, you definitely want to watch out for the select red sausages that are kind of spread out this track. Because you may not know where they're at, but you definitely find out if you hit one.
Indeed, in turn 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe all of them have some pretty substantial sausage curbs there for sure that will throw you out. Get you caught up in that sandcastle building stage, which is not where you want to be. You want to be on the racetrack, keep the car pointed in the forward direction, and yeah.
Yeah, those particular sausages, it's like, even if you've never seen them or pay attention, once you hit it the first time, you're like, never again.
Yeah, it definitely has a great potential to massively upset the car, and it's incredibly difficult to hold on to it once you do clip one of those.
But yeah, provisionally pole at the moment is JK85. He's got 21.669 at the moment,
which is quite fast. Anybody doesn't know, that is quite a fast lap time. That is very nearly a split one fast lap time there, and definitely seeing some familiar names in here, which is always nice. I love to watch the boys racing. Mr. Racing Salamander, a Croatian, Johnny Waffle, ATV, longtime friend and fan of ATVs. He's really coming into his own as a racer lately. Definitely keep an eye out on him if he has a good race day here at Laguna Seca. He should do quite well here. Of course, the major technical parts of this racetrack being the corkscrew, turn 1 and 2. Actually, I believe it's just 2. The Andretti curves. Quite important to get a good run out of there. Get a good run out of, I believe it is turn 5 or turn 6 up into, I think it's called Rahal Straits, up to the corkscrew. Rather important area to get it correct. We do have a new pole sitter. Rick Shearer here has just jumped in with a 121.391, so on the move, up nearly 0.3 over JK85.
Yeah, Rahal Strait is after the kink, but before the corkscrew.
Yep.
But yeah, Rick's definitely one of the quicker members at PhD, because it's like, yeah, he's not a slow guy.
Yeah, certainly on the move, looking good and sharp.
Yeah, he's... I'm curious if he would have had any slip for that one, or if that one was like just unassisted 21.3 from him. But wouldn't surprise me if it was unassisted. Me, myself, if I'm doing qualifying, I prefer to actually be out on my own. Unless the person I'm getting slip off of is someone I know I can trust that's not going to slow me down.
Yeah, I prefer clean air, especially on such a technical track as this. Dirty air can definitely make the car a bit lighter than what you're used to, and therefore the handling characteristics of the car totally change on you. And if you're not used to that, of course, most everyone in here will be used to that. Rick Shear up over a 10th on his fastest lap thus far.
Very good.
This is the corner right here that catches people out most often. You either clip that sausage curb or you go too wide and catch yourself out into the sand. The Rahal straight there up into the corkscrew. He is on a buzz right now. Good, clean looking lines. Looks to have handled that very well. JK85 now jumping up over a 10th, and Rick Shear was just slightly over a 10th of his fastest time, but looks as though he may come up just slightly short. We'll see as he crosses that all-important start-finish straight, and that is not going to be helpful for him. Gets on the throttle a little heavy there. We'll see how short he is, just barely. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But .010 JK85 still holding on to pole position thus far. Wow. Incredibly close.
Yeah, I think that would be a 100th of a second.
Yes, indeed.
And for those that don't know, I've been starting to stream a bit more on Twitch, so what you see here is also being streamed live to Twitch as well. And I'll post it in the chat for anyone that's interested. But the link to my Twitch will be there in the chat. Because that's something I've been kind of messing with on the Twitch side. Like sometimes I'll play something, but it's not really worth a YouTube stream, and I'll just stream it on Twitch.
Copy that. It's good to explore different avenues. You can get some pretty extensive growth rather quickly on Twitch. The important thing, my understanding with Twitch, is just like every other platform that one could stream to, and that is just consistency. And I'll tell you what I've been doing in consistency as far as streaming lately is none. Life has just been incredibly demanding lately, and therefore has just left either no time to stream, or I'm just entirely too tired to even attempt it. So that's where we've been at lately. However, regardless, super glad I have been able to make it for this race stint. My apologies to everyone for not being able to host the first one, as that was to be my portion of oh boy, why is the word evading me? I was supposed to help do that.
CJK's in, since he is going to need to fuel up a bit. Approaching the 10-minute mark in the session. Because I think it's a...
everybody looks like is going to need to come in for a pit indeed, or they're going to be running out of fuel. Looks like Loris in P10 currently does have enough fuel to make another lap or two.
Okay.
We have ATB and Johnny Waffle both coming into the pits. CP Walsh will also have to come into the pits, as he is certainly running on fumes. Back out onto the track with very low fuel is JK85. Gonna see if he can improve on that already really good time of 121.272.
Okay. But they're getting a little close there to a 21 flat. Or split 2. Like you're saying, it was like, that's like literally talking about being split 1 sort of times. Very close. And often you'll see that the higher levels of
split 2 just fell outside of times to be able to run in split 1. So you'll see some very fast guys and or gals in split 2 lobbies that certainly could throw up some good times, very compatible or comparable to the split 1 drivers. Mix it up a little bit. Always enjoy seeing that. But yeah, JK85 just 1/100th of a second in the purple currently, and down by 26 thousandths of a second from his purple time now. Definitely has plenty of racetrack to make an improvement here. Interested to see where Rick Shear here is on his lap.
Let's see.
He's basically just starting another one. Yeah, going into 3, 4, and 5 here.
Yeah, because a little bit further down, you got Mr. Racing with the 21.6, and then Salamander just behind him with a 6.76. So it's like,
yeah, indeed,
pretty close between the top 2 and then 3rd and 4th at the moment.
And top 5 all in the 121s too. So some pretty tight racing expected here today at Laguna Seca, which is personally my favorite track in the Americas.
Okay.
The corkscrew, there's nothing like it in all of racing. That very substantial drop in elevation, and very quickly, the only thing that even closely compares to it is Mount Panorama coming down the mountain, and of course that is stretched out over a much further distance comparatively.
Here in VR, both tracks are quite the experience.
Oh, I can only imagine. I would love to experience it myself actually on the track someday. It's an aspiration of mine, even if it's just in a little Miata spec car. I don't care. I want to take that corkscrew. Put me in a station wagon, 1970 station wagon. I don't care.
Dude, if you, like another track that would give you quite the elevation change feeling is Alsace Test Course.
Copy
That's
that.
one of the fictional tracks, but yeah, it's literally as much as of elevation change as, say, Laguna is.
Oh yeah, I think if I remember correctly, this corkscrew here is an elevation drop of like 10 stories or something in just an extremely short time. I could be confusing that with Mount Panorama, but I don't know. Again, I've only just woke up like 25 minutes ago now, guys, and I have about a whole half a cup of coffee in me, so the brain's not quite functioning as it should.
But yeah, and I've honestly thought about getting the VR. It's like, oh yeah, I could afford it, but it's like, it's a matter, it's like the Nintendo Switch 2. It's like, I could buy it, but it's like, how much would I actually use it? And so that's been my only thing, as JK is actually a little over 10th up on his current time.
Loris Rick is in the purple currently as well.
Loris in the 21s. He's a 983. So now we got 6 cars in the 21s. And JK across the line, 21.1 is the new standard.
And 13 thousandths of a second is Rick up on that time currently. Does catch a bit of the dirt there. Didn't seem to slow him down at all. Catches another little bit of dirt into the final corner. Up the start finish straight here. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Great exit. Looks like he had just the amount of power, and it's going to be very, very close. He does go
21.
purple by 65 thousandths of a second. Sheesh.
It's a pissing match between
21
Rick
flat.
and JK.
Yeah, they keep going back and forth, and that's wonderful to see. They're going to both just continue to push and push. Either way, when it comes to race time, it is going to be a great race up front with the top 7 now in the 121. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was like only 2,000 separate 6th and 7th. And
yeah.
yeah.
Just a little noteworthy thing here is that the fastest lap in Stint 1 was a low 120. So
Low 120.
Right.
That's a pretty close difference between the splits.
Okay.
Indeed. Of course, racing laps often are not as fast as qualifying due to trying to, save a little bit of tire and not quite push as hard as you would in qualifying. If you, an off-track moment in qualifying is not nearly as detrimental as it is during the race. So oftentimes you will see racers pushing close to what they do in qualifying, but not necessarily pushing for that altogether fastest possible lap as they do in qualifying. And on a track as technical as Laguna Seca, one tiny little bit of an error, such as turning in and just milliseconds too late, too early, whatever, can really put you wide, get you hitting a sausage curb, which, as we discussed before, it can be quite detrimental.
Yeah, because I rarely push that hard unless I know I'm done with my stops, and it's basically the end. Yeah, so all right.
So this is absolutely incredible. Top 8 now into the 121s, and P9 is Nereix. Just sitting 76 thousandths of a second outside of the 121s.
So more than half our combatants, I guess we'll say, are into the 21s in this split. Yeah. Oh, that's some consistency. But like your PB is 21.985 and you do 21.984. Let's see. JK's right here.
I'll tell you. Go ahead. I was
going to say he's just marginally down. He's only down by a little over 100. Oh, I think he might be down a little bit more. So you can go ahead.
So I was just going to say that, obviously we can tell just by the times these guys are throwing down here at Laguna Seca. Obviously some very quick racers in the lobby here today at Laguna Seca for round 2. Also, what gives me a very clear indication as to how quick these racers actually are is just by looking at the times of ATB, who is himself quite quick and does pretty well here at Laguna Seca, and currently is qualifying in last. So that tells me right there that he is definitely facing some very quick competition out on the track here today.
Yeah, that's the thing about when you actually decide to try hard some of these races. It's like, okay, it's like if you try hard, that means you're going to be running into people, hopefully not actually running into them, but come across people who are like actually put in the time, and it's like definitely it's like, oh, I thought, oh, it was quick, and it's like, here I am. I was like floundering towards the back.
Right, right. You know, when I very first started doing sim racing, I went and got gold on every single one of the lap track.
Circuit experience.
Yes, I got gold on every single one of them. That includes the Nordschleifer. And before I would step foot into an open lobby, and then I got into an open lobby thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna do good. You know, I'm not gonna win by any means, but I'm gonna do good. And I'll tell you what, I got in there and I just felt slower than a turtle in a peanut butter puddle, man.
Yeah, it's like once you start getting out of the rookie lobbies, like basically anything above D. Because I would argue there are occasional racers that seem like know what they're doing, even in C. It's just most of them tend to be people that don't really care about what happens. But yeah, it's like once you start climbing the ranks, you start coming across, oh, some of these people actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, when I started racing, I raced with some quite fast names in the Gran Turismo world. It just so happened to be the crew that I was running with, and so they made me look absolutely elementary on the track. But I did get a lot faster due to racing with them. So anybody out there wondering, don't be afraid to go and race with faster people, because that's really the only way. You could put all the time in on track that you want. If you have nothing compared to with, at least throw down a ghost lap from a top running time in the world. Say if you're practicing for daily races and whatnot, that'll really help you out. So Rick Shear holds on to that P1 JK85 in P2. Starting out in second row will be S7R's Mr. Racing. Right next to him will be Salamander. In the third row, we'll have Azrael and Archangel next to him. Loris in the fourth row. Next to him will be Turk Croatian in the fifth row with Nerix next to him. And the sixth row will be Johnny Waffle. CP Walsh, and finally ATB.
Right.
This ought to be good.
Yeah, it's definitely a humbling experience when you think you're like, okay, I was like, I feel good, and then you're like, oh, well,
yeah,
that's low key depressing.
Yeah. Oh, is pretty accurate in that situation. Yep, certainly humbling.
All right. We'll get this race started at the 20th minute, and everyone will start with their pace lap. Then on the penultimate lap is when everyone comes in, with this being the first stint. Because I think in round one we had one person forget about going in, which in the heat of the moment I can understand. It's like you get all racy and it's like, oh, I was supposed to go in that lap. Oops. All right, here we go. Yeah, BMW tends, regardless of the sim, does seem to be a pretty decent car. So, like I said,
BMW has been a force to be reckoned with in the racing world for quite some many of years now.
But like I said, this first lap will be just a pace lap, and then the is up to the leader decide on when to go after the penalty gate. Because basically at any point after the penalty gate on that start finish stretch, they can go. So it's up to their discretion. And as far as I understand, odd number positions are on the right-hand side, I believe it was. And I think even was on left.
Yeah, that's correct. But it is staggered, so the lead car should still be in the front in that
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, look at me actually paying attention. I
you
do
go.
try.
Look at you go.
If I ever decide to try to do IRO sometime, I think I'll be in good shape. Because some people are like, really? There was a mandatory tire or something like that. It's like, I always make sure to read the regs. If there's
It definitely
regs.
is very important. Very important to know the rules and regulations of the league racing that you are joining. Even just going into a lobby, read the title. Oftentimes it will tell you, whether or not you're going to have something such as mandatory tires or a pit or something like that. And before the race starts, if you look center screen down at the bottom of your screen, will also give you that information.
Thanks, T-Case, and yeah, best of luck to everyone. And
All right.
Right on board.
Get the dual fall. Whoa, and somebody seems to have had a bit of an error there. CP Walsh taking a ride. He has left the room. That was a mega disconnect there for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going
And
to say
they're
that
off
looked
to
like
the
a
races.
What happened? We just had a
CP Walsh, I guess, apparently had a disconnect at the very start.
The too wide coming in through Andretti curves. Everybody makes it through. Still tires spinning and rolling out.
Yeah, everyone seems to be behaving so far. You see Sal Commander gets past Azriel for 4th place. So, apart from that, everyone was like more or less just feeling things out, but well done to Salamander for making position.
Ooh, Salamander trying to make another move into the corkscrew. Ends up throwing himself way wide there. Lucky to have held on to that and not lost that position back to Azrael, which he may do here. Too wide coming in, and Azrael looks as though he's going to pull just out ahead. Yes, he does. Salamander thrown back a position. Loris right there, as well as Turk and the rest of the crew in behind. Some tight racing here to start out with at Laguna Seca. Rick now pulling ahead 1.5 seconds already on JK85. Trying to run away with this thing at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, Rick tends to be quick like that. It's like as long as no one's directly in his way, it's like he's pretty consistent like that. So,
yeah, consistency really does matter a whole lot in any endurance racing situation, and oftentimes, most often rather, a consistency is going to win the day versus just sheer speed.
Okay. Let's see. Everyone seems to like have settled down. That first initial lap or two tends to be the one where everyone tends to go for it, and then once you get past that phase, it's like, okay, everyone's like, all right, we need to chill, we need to settle down, this is a long race.
Indeed it is. Lots of time for gaining positions or losing them. So best to just maintain composure in endurance racing and let the positions come to you. Obviously, you don't want to be going slow to be giving up positions, but gaining them is not quite the most important thing. Big battle going on between Nerix and Johnny Waffle back in P10 and P11.
So
Nerix just able to hold off Johnny Waffle for the moment. Really the only perceived battle on the track thus far. Just coming into the corkscrew.
Wonder if that means Johnny likes the top lot. I see, since he's got a British flag. I was going like, is it the waffle that one eats, or the waffle of talking a lot? Because across the pond they tend to refer to people whenever they talk a bit too much, waffling.
Oppie, learn something new every day. That's news to me.
Yeah, I watch a fair amount of Tia Met Marduk, Benjamin Daly, who does Formula One stuff, and like, you watch some of the international people, regardless of what game they play, you kind of pick up on things.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny's right there, but no.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move up.
He's in harassment mode. Oh, and Nerix gets a little wrong, goes wide, and Johnny Waffle is able to grab that position, just putting him under the pressure, and he collapses under it. Oh, I'm seeing dirt being thrown up all over this racetrack, and again, Laguna Seca absolutely famous for that.
Yep.
I was gonna joke that quote from Spider-Man 3. Just throw a little dirt in your eye.
Rick out in front, 4.3 seconds over JK85 in P2. Mr. Racing right there in P3, and Azrael in P4. Salamander right there. Oh, he gets all sorts of slideways there. Great job by Salamander to keep that race car underneath of him there. And we have Archangel Loris.
Yeah.
Just in behind them for P6 and 7. P8, it belongs to Turk Croatian here in P9. Johnny Waffle in P10, as Nerix is in P11 with ATB also just right there in P12. Unfortunately, did have the disconnect, so just 12 racers on the racetrack. Yeah, that's really unfortunate for a team when you have a stint starting out. You don't even get a single lap in before the race even starts, and you are booted from the lobby. That's most unfortunate, but it does happen. So the racing will continue on.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got Angel, Loris, and Turk all fighting for P6. So then they got Croatian. Yeah, that's Croatian. Just behind them. So if any of these three that we're looking at right now fight too much, it could invite. Ooh, as Loris goes wide there.
Not such a big surprise for me to be seeing lots of Porsches out here on the track today. I would imagine definitely a, if not entirely dominant car, very close to it, being such a technical and quite short racetrack. Seems to me as though the Porsche would definitely have a bit of an upper hand when it comes to tracks such as these.
A little wide. As Azrael's got the run on him, but he gets by, heading towards the kink. So Azrael is now up to lowest podium, and Miss Racing was wide again at the kink. Keeps it pointed in the right direction, but
Salamander gonna have a run on him and does grab the position there in the corkscrew. Very nice.
Yeah, he looked like Mr. Racing might have still had dirty tires when he got to the kink, and that just
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's an unfortunate setback from Mr. Racing, but he's like I said, he's still pointing in the right direction, so it's not as bad as it could be.
Indeed, and just 7 laps into 67 lap race. You've got plenty of time.
So it was Turk. Turk I saw in one of the exit shots. It looked like he was getting some power oversteer out of the final turn, but looks like he managed to hold on to it.
With 3 AMGs in the back, P8, 9, and 10, Johnny Waffle grabs a position from Croatian there and now is all over the back of Turk, running his best lap thus far. Johnny Waffle looking to make some moves here early on.
Yeah, I'm sure McNaughty will be happy to see 3 of them close, but I'm sure he's a little sad that they're a little further down the order. Hey, Dan. Okay, so...
Neriux falls back to, well, just gained a position from Croatian there, lose another spot to Neriux as they're making their way through the corkscrew.
Okay.
Again, all important sector of this racetrack. Gotta get that right.
Hey, Papa. Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, Angel, Loris, Kirk, and now Johnny, basically more or less a 4-way battle. Once Turk and Johnny catch up a little bit closer to our Angel and Loris gets it done at T1, and around he managed to stay up ahead. So yeah, it's like pretty busy. Yeah.
Yeah, big battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position. All of them just right there. And Loris going to grab the spot back, move himself back into P7. Good move there.
Because Rick's got a... he's got a 7-second gap to JK. So he's comfortably in the lead. And JK's not as big, but got a healthy lead over Azrael in 3rd. Then our
2 and something, yeah, about 2.5, yep.
Then you got Salamander in 4th. Okay. Ooh, yeah, it's quite the squabble with these 4 cars, and if they're not careful, they're going to invite a 5th one. So yeah, it's pretty busy back here.
Yeah, middle pack having a great race here thus far. Just 10 laps into a 67 lap race. P6, 7, 8, and 9 all just right there within a second of each other. So some pretty tight racing. Neriux picking up the pace again, starting to catch up to the back of this pack. And Mr. Racing goes off, has another moment, falls back to P11.
Does he? Yeah, there he is.
So Croatian falling back in the order to P10, but does grab a position. Oh, and Loris now has a moment. He is falling back to P10.
Okay.
When he's got dirty tires, Mr. Racing going to grab that spot. ATB and Loris now side by side.
Ooh-wee.
ATB going to get the job done there on Loris, who's trying to recover from the dirty shoes and damage now. Yes, Loris goes into the pits, going to get rid of that damage, seemingly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rick, 7 seconds up the road from JK85, who is just having a very, very... consistent and calm demeanor on the racetrack.
Yeah, besides the first race lap, It's like he's ran 22s the whole time.
Yeah, he did have a bit of a falling off there for lap 8 and 9, looks like, for Azriel. But last lap, fastest lap thus far for Azriel, starting to let the legs be stretched out on that AMG there, down to just a 2.1 second gap now in front to JK85.
Okay. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, he's Azriel's lap times. He's been in the 23s except for the last 2 laps. Okay.
Johnny Waffle now up to P5. Boy, howdy, making moves from P11 back up to P5. He is on the move, y'all. Man, I wish I'd seen that.
Yeah,
he is
was
absolutely
down there.
stretching the legs now. Yeah.
It kind of seems like most everyone else is like kind of near each other, but looks like everyone kind of decided to settle down just a little bit. They will close enough, but yeah, everyone's doesn't look like they're battling like they were a few laps ago.
Right, yeah, definitely a bit of spreading out between P5 to, P9. Mr. Racing now being chased down pretty heavily by ATB as they come in to the corkscrew. We'll see if Mr. Racing can get him some separation, but I don't think he's going to be able to, because I see now, not sure when that has happened, but Mr. Racing holding on to some damage. We'll see if he comes into the pits to get that cleared up. Yeah, a bit of damage.
Oh yeah, front bumper and left front. Okay, yeah, that's not going to be ideal.
Indeed, it is not.
Okay.
8.7 seconds now is the lead for Rick out in front, looking all sorts of good and smooth out there. JK85 in P2 now has a gap just 1.8 seconds between himself and Azriel there. Not a surprise for myself to see the 2 Porsches out leading the race. However, Azriel really looking quite sharp in the AMG here thus far. Again, different strategies as far as tire compounds going on throughout the racetrack here today at Laguna Seca. Johnny Waffle is definitely putting in some decent looking laps here for himself. Turk moving up into P6. Actually, I think he was already there, rather. It's Nirix who has moved up into P7 now, followed by Archangel Croatian in P9. Mr. Racing there in P10 has ATB 0.3 of a second, make that 0.2 of a second. Will we see a move here? I don't know if we will. Doubtfully. ATB very mindful in strategy, not going to push incredibly hard to get a pass done. Better to just let those places come to you. However, is in P11, and Loris now having come out of pit lane to get his damage taken care of, finds himself 26.3 seconds in behind ATB, of course, due to that pit stop for the unfortunate damage. Rick out in front, 9.2 seconds now. So really stretching his legs here in the Porsche. And it looks as though JK85 not quite under pressure yet from Azriel, but certainly does know that he is back there.
Yeah, he's gotten closer. because it was closer to 2 seconds, and now it's like a bit closer to like a second and a half.
Azrael there touching a bit of dirt.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that one, dirt touching, and everyone trying to get the most out of this track. And with how narrow it is, you only got but so much room to work with, so yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of that.
Yep, just a slight bit of overspeed or late entry into the any one of these corners on this track virtually, and you definitely are going to find yourself in the kitty litter.
I do see, besides this possible brewing battle between Azrael and JK, you see Turk and Johnny are within a second of each other. Might have another battle to keep an eye out for.
The two AMGs are getting closer to one another. Nereix just behind, though. Not too awful far back, 2.3 seconds. Definitely having a good run at trying to catch those two drivers out in front. Croatian and Archangel also very close to one another.
Yeah, is there? Yeah, they're right there. With Croatian in the Merc and Angel in the 296. So yeah, it's starting to. Looks like it's starting to pick back up. Everyone kind of had their little phase of battling, and then it settled down, and it looks like it's picking back up. Let's see. But looks like this is your closest battle besides Kirk and Johnny. Is there like right around
Loris having a bit of a moment there, just caught the tail end of him getting back on the racetrack. Now falls to 33 seconds in behind, and he has not come away unscathed. Oh, and goes around again there, probably due to the damage on that rear diffuser there, just making the car a bit light in the butt end there. Just not having the best of days is Loris. Now coming under threat from being a lap down from Rick. Rick's flying around the track. 9.6 seconds to the good of JK85. But again, y'all, different tire strategies in play here. And JK85 looking very, very strong here on the racetrack at Laguna Seca today.
Yeah, I would say that diffuser damage on Loris probably, because he lost it going into the turn. I was like, yeah, that probably was a diffuser. Ooh.
Yeah, it's definitely going to lighten up the rear end of the race car anytime you get some damage to the rear diffuser there. The car is not going to be planted as it would be without the damage.
Mr. Racing caught it on the track map, but he had a moment, and yeah. So he caught
Indeed he has.
some of the sand on the exit. I think that's turn 4, I want to say. And couldn't quite gather it up in time, and yeah, got a little dizzy there, I'm sure.
Very likely he's doing the ballerina move in the kitty litter there, and not what you wanted to see. Mr. Racing having a bit of a rough go here at the start, 18 laps in, and I'm really, really surprised that he has held on to this damage for as long as he has, still trying to make a a go of it with holding on to the damage, and I'm not sure that it's doing him any favors. However, I can understand a 25 to 26 second, roundabout there pit stop is really going to not do you any favors either.
Because if you pit like this early, it's like you're probably going to end up having to do an extra stop. So
exactly, and
yeah.
I'm sure that's what he's trying to avoid. Yep, good point.
Let's see, Turk and Johnny are still keeping tabs with each other. Like, hey, how's it going? I was like, it'd be better if you were a little further back, but not bad.
Ooh, Johnny Waffle going defensive there, Turk, trying to make his way around the outside. Are we going to see the over-under? No, we will not. Johnny Waffle taking a great line there for a defensive line, manages to keep that bit of separation, but while they're battling it out,
Yeah.
and they have now come around, gotten around Loris as well, so half the field now lapping Loris. Unfortunate, but we are starting to see some pretty substantial tire wear from those who have chosen to go on the quicker compound racing tires here at Laguna Seca, and not surprised to see that at all. 20 laps into the race, definitely going to have had those tires well heated at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, with this track and how narrow it is, just like you'll honestly get asked, are you actually racing the track if there's not some amount of dirt being thrown up?
Right. Yeah, that and the tire wear, I would imagine, going to be slightly more substantial than if you were on a track that wasn't quite so technical. But the great thing about Laguna Seca, aside from the corkscrew, is although this track is quite technical, it's actually quite a fast flowing racetrack. For as short as it is, you're holding on to some pretty substantial speed here around the track, and even going in down the corkscrew, you're still holding on to speeds of, say, 70 miles an hour dropping into that corkscrew. And I can imagine the type of ride that would be.
Yeah, because in this game, you often forget that you would be too chicken to do it in real life. So, and then you play this and like, it's fine, it'll be okay. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Indeed. Apologies, y'all.
But yeah, slowest speed turn here is the final turn. That's a proper hairpin. So apart from that, it's like, yeah, you've got some amount of speed at literally everywhere else.
Oh, for sure. And the Andretti curves also, turn 1 and 2, they consider that little tiny bit of a kink coming into the Andretti curves to be turn 1. However, that's like a kink to me. That is not a turn. So I consider Andretti curves to be turn 1 and 2. So if you hear me reference turn 1 and 2, just know that I don't mean the little kink. We are speaking of the Andretti curves, the very favorite part of the track for me as well. That it's so technical. You get that wrong and it really throws off your lap pace here.
And for anyone wondering about the weather, let's see. There we go. Stint 1 will be late morning, and it'll be starting at CO4, transitioning to CO5. And then for Stint 2 that follows this race, it'll be afternoon for time of day, and it will start in CO5 and transition to CO6 clouding. Okay. All right.
So some clear racing skies in the forecast here today. A little bit of clouds, which is nice. Keep the track temperature slightly cooler, and therefore the tire degradation down a bit as well. You heat those tires up, they become awfully slick rather quickly on a hot racetrack. So nice to see the weather is holding out here for our racers on track today and not getting overly hot. In California, it can get rather hot, as I'm sure y'all are aware. Death Valley being right there, bit of a sign for y'all.
Yeah, it's like, while California is mostly dry, it does have its moments where it does tend to be a wet one. But yeah, generally, it's pretty dry out in this area for the most part.
For sure, unless you're getting up into the mountain passes, moving over into Arizona and whatnot, then you can actually,
Loris
people don't
sends it on
realize.
Johnny. And Loris, yeah, because Loris was behind Turk, and then I noticed Loris got in between Turk and Johnny, and then as we just seen, Loris sent it on Johnny as well, and so he's making it work. Let's see, that's 12, so that...
Yep,
yeah.
Trying to get some of those laps back from some people and managing to do so.
So it's, I mean, he's got the pace for it, so can't say he can't do that, because I was like, he can definitely do it as long as he's not holding anyone up.
Yeah, seems to have settled down a bit from his earlier mishaps, and that's always great to see. A nice recovery drive from drivers.
But yeah,
So,
I guess I was going to go through the field and see what the deltas was to everyone. So Rick, his gap is 10 seconds to second. JK, he's got about a little over 5 seconds, as you can see, to Azrael. So it seemed to have clawed himself away from Azrael. Then Azrael.
Ooh, Azrael, big moment. No, I don't believe so. He just went off. That might be a disconnect as he's just rolling back. Oh no.
Maybe hardware failure. Ooh. Yep, it was a disconnect.
He did disconnect. Oh,
so
most unfortunate.
Big, that was lap 24 that he disconnected.
Indeed. Now our race leader diving off into the pits for his first pit stop of the race here on lap 24, as you said.
Couldn't have timed that one any better if I tried. I was like, I'm still unfortunate for Azrael, but yeah, I was like, I just thought I'd go through the field, and I was like, ended up catching that right when it happened.
Yeah, I seen him go off there, go just a little bit wide and into the kitty litter, and then whack the wall, and there was no slowdown at all. And
Johnny
then as he was rolling back.
Johnny, okay, so Johnny was on softs. Then you see,
so new race leader.
And Rick is on mediums now.
Yep. So new race leader, 11.4 seconds up the road is JK85. Again, having himself a really good race, finds himself in a great position here. Obviously, now that we have seen the other racers come in, kind of gives you a bit of a clue as to what compound JK85 is on. But having himself a really great race here thus far, 25 laps into a 67 lap race. for these racers out here at Laguna Seca. That put Salamander in P2. Rick comes out in P3, so tells you a bit of how his racing's going. Gets a pit stop in and still comes out in the podium positions.
Yeah, he built up quite the gap in that opening stint, so like he's sitting pretty at the moment. Just looking to turn out some consistent laps on his mediums.
Indeed. And that's really going to pay dividends later on at the towards the end of the race here. Having decided to go that route, what will be interesting is to see the difference in the pit strategy here, race strategy as a whole between JK85 and Rick Shearer here. It is Turk who finds himself at P4.
Turks and P4 is, I can see his front right tire is not happy, is what I'll say.
Indeed, facts. Neriek's now finding himself just in behind in P5, though.
And then behind him, Croatian has a half-second pin.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Very... actually, as much as you can cut the corners here, or rather at Laguna Seca, it's not often you will see a penalty come up. You really have to cut corners pretty substantially to have that happen. And I'll tell you, the way that often happens for most racers is to try to split the sausage curve. So what I mean by that is going over the sausage curve in the center of the car to where you just kind of skip right over it and you don't end up hitting it with either tire. And I believe it's turn 6 that is often the culprit for that. For myself, famously, trying to cut in just inside of that sausage curve to where you avoid hitting it with the tire, and it can be done.
It is indeed turn 6 where the kink is at. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So Rick in P3 gaining some ground on Salamander there. You can see that time just falling off there again. Salamander on a bit of a tear here, finding himself in P2, but in short order going to be finding himself in the pits as well as Turk. Definitely some very heavy wear to that right front. Not a big surprise to see Neriek's really gaining some ground on him, and he's about to have a look to the inside. Is Neriek's gonna get the move done? No battle from Turk at all right there, just concedes the position, as very smartly done too. Just wants to get in a couple of extra racing laps here on those very, very heavily worn racing shoes under that car.
But yeah, Pablo, JK's been pretty consistent, but yeah, he's first at the moment, but our technical race leader after pit stop rotation is Rick. Rick was the first one up front to go in, so pretty sure Rick will filter out up front, but we'll see.
Yeah, I believe he will. There's a minimum of 20 seconds in just behind JK currently, and with the way things are looking, JK could hold out for quite some time yet before he needs to take a pit stop. So as that goes on, Rick being on the fresher set, racing tires there. Yeah, he that could not be avoided any longer. He was definitely losing pace and needed to come in and get off of those.
Hot California track,
very warm.
kind of clear skies. Yeah, your softs aren't going to last as much as you would like.
Indeed. So, very, very wise, in my opinion, to come in and get off that compound of racing tire there, as is only losing pace.
Hey,
and now,
RJ.
interesting bit of a battle here between Rick and Loris, all the way back in P11. But look at Loris really maintaining pace with Rick here.
Oh, yeah.
It looks as though he might actually try to make a move there. Loris is...
Because, Loris was the one that had issues in the beginning, so he's been in the pits
Indeed.
a few times, so he's on the Rick. Yeah.
Desperate to get that lap back, and he does do it here. Immediately gaining a bit of separation as well.
And from my understanding, that was one of the blue flag zones. So, I saw that Loris is on the softer compound. So that
indeed he is.
So that's probably why Rick wasn't going to fight it all that much. He sees that Loris has the pace, and as long as Loris has the pace, then Rick has no problem with letting him by.
Yeah, let him go. Get that clean air out in front of you again. Always nice to be racing in clean air if you possibly can, and there's no point in wearing out your tires just to try to keep a car that is a lap down in the race from getting back around you. Is just best to just let him go. So obviously you can see the racing IQ there from Rick. Very wise move just to let Loris go on ahead.
Yeah, see, Nerix is up to 4th now. So looking good for him. Let's see. I see your friend ATV is in 7th.
Yeah, indeed. He's moving up the order and gaining on Archangel and Croatian here, who has moved up into P5. Croatian had fallen clear back into P10 or 11 at one point in time, and has since been having quite a good comeback here. So that is very nice to see.
Okay. Let's see. Then Johnny and Mr. Racing are, they're within reach of each other. So, yeah, Mr. Racing has had some less than ideal luck, we'll say. But I was like,
indeed, still on lap 31, nearly halfway through this race, still holding on to that race car damage. And really, I mean, we'll see there at the end, he's still got some pretty decent pace aside from the last 2 laps, definitely falling off. Outside of his consistency on the rest of the laps. I mean, you can see lap 22 there, holding on to a 123.722, considering the racing compound that he is currently on and the damage. Quite a fast lap still. So Mr. Racing holding pretty strong due to the given circumstances for him.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying to hold on until, because I think he started on mediums. So I think he's trying to go until it's time to go to softs. And I'm sure he'll be a happy man once he gets rid of that damage.
Right, and my guess is that he is going to try to hold out until at least lap 40, potentially lap 41, maybe even 42, just to give himself a few less laps on those racing softs, and that way he can really push on the softs to try to gain back some of that time loss that he's had during his first racing stint. We shall see, though.
As we see, Salamander is in, so that's her stint done of the soft tires.
Yep, indeed, going to put Rick back up into P2, as we well knew he would be. So now the gap difference between P2 and P1 at the very high end of 22 seconds, very nearly 23 seconds between himself and JK. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens towards the end of this race. Race strategy playing a huge part in any kind of endurance racing, as well as overall pace and consistency. So going to be quite the show towards the end of this stint.
Yeah, because Rick is currently around 23 seconds behind JK. And JK hasn't come in yet, so he still has his soft stint to do. Yeah,
and he's really done a fine job of maintaining the temperature on those racing mediums and really making them last quite well. Again, I would not at all guess that he is going to come in before lap 40. I would imagine he certainly has the tires still to manage to get in another 6 laps before pitting. So I would guess that would be the case. At 26 laps on softs is really going to be pushing what the car is able to do with the current track temperatures.
So one thing I've kind of forgotten to mention is with the new Porsche 992 is it's crazy good on fuel, and I see we're past the halfway point and JK's not even at halfway fuel yet. So
it's doing very good.
Yeah, be able to take some new shoes and just be on his merry little way. So we'll see whenever he comes in how close or far he's going to be to Rick.
Yeah, and again, very wise decision making on the part of JK85 as far as a race strategy goes. He's going to be light on fuel, as you were alluding to. Not going to have to take any fuel at all to finish off this race. And lighter fuel load and faster racing compound. JK85 looking really strong here as we see for round 2. Split 2, stint 1. Looking real strong.
Yeah, I had learned firsthand how good the fuel was in the 992. Because had in PHG World Series finale race, one of the choices was the 992, and I found out firsthand how good that car is at fuel. I was like, holy cow, this thing needs to be put in jail.
Well, I'll tell you, I have been the biggest fan of Porsche my entire life, and they are an incredibly good race car, and that 992 is absolutely fantastic race car. The stability of that car is absolutely incredible. As we've been discussing, very good on fuel, and as you can see, not bad on tire degradation either. So all around, very good choice here. Obviously, many of the racers have figured that out because, well, they're racing in it.
Yeah, I had even before they implemented the car in the game, I'm like, well, it's going to be a new car, so it's probably going to be at worst borderline OP.
Well,
It,
for those who love racing the Porsche, there is obviously quite the difference in the two cars. The 992 and the 911. Yeah, they both handle quite different. The 992, in my opinion, much more stable. You can really throw that car into the corners and it just handles it.
Yeah, hoping we get a few more new race cars before the end of this game. But I'm like, the 992 is definitely one of the more happier additions that they've added.
For sure, for sure. JK85, meanwhile, still holding strong, even with that the current tire degradation he has. Still 22, we'll call it 0.6 seconds ahead. Rick, he's probably not pushing really hard. Again, wanting to save those mediums. He did manage an incredible first stint. Those racing softs lasted him very well also. I mean, he did put out quite a good lead, but not so much to where he didn't make the softs last him for quite a good duration there.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if with Loris in front of him, I wonder if he can use that to catch up a little bit. Because JK out in front doesn't have anyone to get any slipstream off of. Whereas I've noticed Rick is starting to catch Loris little by little.
Well, and Neriux here in P3. Great comeback race from him on lap 37. Again, I don't expect any of these. Oh, and then just as I say that, he goes into the kitty litter there. Not where he wanted to be on the racetrack, but Croatian as well into P4. Archangel at P5. My boy ATB up into P6. So again, like I said, he does seem to be having a very, very consistent, good race here. Lap 35 there, he dropped back down into the 123s. So very consistent. Neriux now deciding to go ahead and jump in. And looks as though, yes, indeed, going to get on the racing. Okay, he is going to go on the sauce. That's where I was like, why would he throw the mediums on again and have to do another pit stop? But indeed, he has not. So does fall back into P8. We'll see if Mr. Racing is going to come out ahead of him or no.
Rick's caught up to Loris. It's like, don't see the exact delta, but it's definitely less than a second now.
Oh yeah, he's 6-7 tenths, maybe even less than that.
Because when you talked about Rick's gap to JK earlier, it was 22.6. Now it's down to 22.2.
Right. So not making any big pushes, but definitely just being very consistent and just chewing away at that time. Now back up to a 22.5. So it's been hovering right there within the 22 and 23 second margin now, consistently for several laps. Excuse me. Oh, apologies.
I was sending out an emote for what Cupcake said. They saw the new age funny number. And I was like, no.
We don't care now. I'm too old for all that. that garbage. I'm going to step away until I can get rid of these hiccups, y'all.
Oh, goodness.
It's your comms for a moment.
But yeah, hope everyone's been enjoying the broadcast. Second I get done with my broadcast, I'll probably get pizza. So I think I'm in the mood for pizza on this Saturday, so I think that's what I'll end up going with. Oh, see, Rick lost a little bit to Loris in front of him, and the gap went marginally back up a little bit to 22.5, 22.6. But that's why I'm definitely keeping an eye out for whenever JK decides that it's time. But yeah. Oh, speaking of JK, his ears must have been burning, so he decided to pull them down. He decided to get off his mediums. So it's going to be interesting. Okay. But yeah, he won't need to take fuel since he's in that OP fuel machine. See, he's coming out now. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, Rick has him well clear. Just like how far clear will be the question. Gap to between Rick and JK is 6 seconds. So now JK's got the fun job of trying to track down Rick. And see, Corrosion and Angel are both in as well. Oh no, ATB, your friend. See what happened. So ATB's defending from Salamander. Salamander. Oh! Salamander hit the sausage curb on the exit on the way out of T1 and ended up being thrown into ATB, which spun out ATB. So that's really unfortunate.
I guess I could jump in and help out while Rick's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was unfortunate. That obviously you're a passenger once you decide to even inadvertently touch the sausage curb.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Salamander feels bad about that, but yeah, that is motorsport at times. The ATB is in. So see, Rick lead to JK is down to 4 seconds.
About 25 laps away from split two stints to starting. So still trying to finalize the details there. Maybe that's what Rick was doing.
Okay.
Just getting those. I don't know if you guys are monitoring the chat, but I did put some things in the chat for this channel.
Okay.
Well, JK85 couldn't announce today. He was supposed to be with us on Stint 1, but I'm glad he was able to find the chance to drive. I'm very happy about that. Something came up, and at least he was able to drive. We're happy to see him. Only 3.5 seconds behind Rick Shear, who has been on an absolute tear today.
Yeah, and JK's got the gap down to under 4 seconds now. So,
JK85 is in a PhD sandwich right now. He's got P1 is PhD and P3 is PhD. So PhD showing up today. That's awesome. I'm glad that they're doing well, and they're doing a bit better than last round.
Yeah, from what I saw, Salamander was a late addition. Like he, I think, only started practicing maybe like last night.
Right, yeah.
So
looks like Mr. Racing is coming into the pits. He's going to come off of his mediums, maybe come on to the softs, and have a final big push to the end of the race. Well, at least to the driver change.
JK was on a purple lap, so we'll see if he is able to set fastest lap. Should be able to, being on a lighter car. And softs, he... Nope, just misses. 22-1 from him.
Okay. We are back. Apologies, y'all. Hiccups have evaded. Again, though, very interesting. Point out the time difference between Rick and JK now on the softer compound of racing shoes. They're 2.7 seconds. And running purples, JK looking good and sharp now. Does see Rick out there in front of him, and so definitely targeted is Rick now. Does have Loris there in front of him to contend with and try to get around him. And coming up very strong and fast up onto Loris is JK through the corkscrew. Again, running a purple sector there is JK. Going to try to make short work of Loris. Loris! Incredible save there from Loris to not get into JK there. JK getting a bit lucky there, I would have to say, and definitely gaining some time on Rick out there in front. That did slow JK down considerably, though, off of his pace for the earlier portions of the racetrack there.
Negative. They are not 4K. Rick is on. He started the race on softs, and JK started on mediums. So now Rick's finishing on mediums, and JK is finishing on softs.
Just 1.9 seconds now separating the race leader in the form of Rick to JK85 again on a purple sector by nearly half a second here at the end of the lap. Is he going to pull it off this time? I do think he will. He's looking very strong through the final sector here. It's going to be all come down to this all important final corner into the start finish straight. He's got a great run coming out of it. And that time is just dropping. He is definitely going to pull it off by nearly 0.4 of a second. Fastest lap now belonging to JK85 into the 121s, well and clear of the 122s. Looking super strong is JK85 here at the end of the stint, but definitely not going to want to push these softs really hard, as he does have 20 laps remaining. But I do believe we're going to see him take over that all important and highly sought after pole position there.
Yeah, wondering if Rick will fight it hard, or Bill just sees it as an inevitable path.
Well, I think the smarter move would just be to let him go and then hope that his mediums will hold out for a later comeback closer to the end of the race. That would be my guess. No point in fighting it right now. As you say, he is on the faster racing compound here, and if it were me, I would just let JK go on ahead and then try to reel him back in towards the end of the race as those softer compound of tires will start to fall off, obviously, in around the 20 laps of being on them.
Because one thing I'm keeping an eye on is, as Rick, I was like, I'm thinking about maybe trying to hold up JK and backing him into, I think it was Mr. Racing? I think it was Mr. Racing. Back there.
Yeah, in P9.
Yeah. So yep. I'm wondering if he can try to back JK into him, and then Mr. Racing try to overtake JK. So that's my mindset.
I don't know if he's going to be able to. We may see a move coming into the corkscrew. Oh. We move down here into the final corner. Start
yeah. I think your internet's doing funny things to your voice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, still doing it. Making your voice all funny like. As we see, JK is looking for it. Doesn't quite get it. As JK isn't able to get it done. Go around here towards Kink. See if he can get a run going up to the corkscrew. But they both take it fairly well. Okay, no sends at the corkscrew, so neat and tidy through there. But yeah, that's where my head's at between these two, and what I think maybe Rick should try doing, because Mr. Racing's getting closer. Oh, yeah, they both go wide. Guess they're playing follow the leader. Okay, so they're both going to have dirty tires then, so they'll need to be careful.
The over-under from JK is side by side coming into turn 3, just out of the Andretti corners. JK looks like he might get the... Oh, boy. Rick being defensive here, not the move I expected to see from him, but does hold out and keeps JK in behind him. Wow, incredible driving there from Rick. And indeed, here comes Mr. Racing alongside of JK now. And maybe potentially pushed him a little bit wide there. Fairly clean, though. Definitely just the slightest of bump, if anything at all. JK not going to be happy about that as he does lose time to Rick. Rick's kind of trying to run away from now. Good call on that strategy call there from you, Mr. Casual. Indeed, that is exactly what we're seeing happening. JK now having to contend with Mr. Racing. What a race we got going on here at Laguna Seca today.
Despite my name, I do know what I'm talking about from time to time.
Indeed, I would have to say so, my friend. Incredible. JK now going to take a look to the inside as they come into the Andretti curves. He's going to get the job done there on Mr. Racing. Again, JK out in front. Mr. Racing going to come back and then bit touch there and woo-wee. Great racing here. I'd have to say, just let that man go catch P1 and worry about getting that lap back. Mr. Racing unwilling to consent, though, still all over the back of JK.
Okay. Guess we, little bit of a gap. We can take a quick peek. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that gave Rick a little bit of time to breathe, but yeah, JK like a wasp is back for more. Oh, yellow flag. Someone must up ahead, but they got going, so all good. But yeah, JK ain't done with Rick. He's like, hey, sir, you got something I want. Because the longer it takes JK to get past Rick, the better it is for Rick, with Rick being on the mediums.
At just 16 racing laps to go here.
15.
For this 15, indeed, yeah. So yeah, JK all over Rick, and there is the move. No, decides to and Rick goes wide. That is going to give JK. Oh, and Mr. Racing gets in the way. Oh man. Perhaps both racers off. That does give JK the lead. He was looking for that, and already with a 1.7 second gap now to Rick, and oh boy howdy, that's going to be some talks at the end of this race for that.
See. Ooh.
Mr. Racing just trying desperately to get that lap back, but I would have had to have just consented there myself.
Dang. Woo. Yeah, Jonathan, you could definitely say it was a bit sloppy there, because that little segment is questionable at the best of times, let alone when you got three cars trying to navigate each other. So yeah. So that's JK now. After all of that, use a different word, tomfoolery, I guess we'll say. JK's clear of Rick by a little over 3 seconds. And
yeah, running away with it now.
Yeah, and then there's where Rick is at. And Mr. Racing about the same-ish sort of gap, just behind him. Let's see, any other battles? You see Salamanders down in fourth now, as opposed to being third, because Nereix is the car in third. So there's Nereix. Then just round a second behind him, you see Salamander right there.
Yeah, Nereix having quite the comeback race, as he had fallen way back in the pack. Now looking really strong to be holding out in P3.
So got that little battle there. Let's see, Croatian's right here. He's by himself in fifth. Then 10 seconds down the road is Angel. And then behind him, further back, we have Mr. Waffle and ATB.
Yeah, getting chased down pretty hard by ATB as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've driven that GTR And it's a fun car once you get used to it. It's like I think it uses turbos, but yeah, it's like gotten used to the GTR. But yeah, when it's heavy on fuel, it definitely goes through some tires.
Yeah, it overall the GTR has always been quite strong here in the world of racing, and especially in Gran Turismo 7. It's always a strong contender. And really good lines there from Johnny Waffle. Looked though as though he was going to go a bit defensive there on ATB, but I think the case for ATB grabbing that position from Johnny Waffles looking pretty strong. ATB may find himself in a mid-pack battle for P7 there. Case looking pretty strong for ATB currently. Not a whole 12 laps left, or
yeah, 12. As we see, both Johnny Waffle and ATB got JK. I'm assuming not far behind. He's right there.
Yeah, Mr. Racing there still all over the back of Rick Shear in P2 there. Mr. Racing gonna take that, get back onto the lead lap as he has so desperately been trying to do for quite some time now. He still has a deficit of 7 seconds to ATB. Apologies.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, getting towards the end of this first stint. Ooh, my oh my. Been a bit of a topsy-turvy sort of race. You had your moments where it's like, oh, that's spicy, and then it's like, oh, well, everyone's spread out. So, oh, never mind.
A 6.6 second gap has JK now over Rick.
Okay.
And JK is definitely coming into some traffic here. He's going to want to get around those guys as quick as possible, giving them the old flash of the headlights, saying, hey, fellas, I'm fighting for the race lead here. Would you mind getting out of me way? Oh.
Yeah. And I'm sure Rick's hoping that they slow him down a little bit, but I don't think they'll be able to slow him down for 6 seconds. Unless they're like literally fighting every turn.
Well, they are in a battle for position. Not entirely sure what the regulations on this are. I think JK is just going to have to try to figure out how to get around him. ATB does get out of the way. Both drivers get out of the way. It's super great to see that. Just let the leader of the race go, and their battle will continue on. So, outstanding show of sportsmanship and racing integrity there from Mr. Johnny Waffle and ATB. Fantastic racing.
But yeah, like JK got kind of fortunate there that they both were able to do so. Otherwise, he was probably going to lose like maybe another second or two, if not.
Yep, both drivers being very aware that that was the race leader trying to gain those positions, and both, simultaneously just consented to give that up. So again, great racing integrity from those two racers in the form of Johnny Waffle and ATB. Outstanding sportsmanship. Love to see that.
But yeah, at the rate they're going, looks like they're going to be battling until the end of this stint.
Yeah, indeed, and it's going to be super interesting to see how that plays out for them. Both being on a different compound, race and choose here, and quite interested to see how that plays out. As that's really the actual closest battle for position we're seeing on the racetrack thus far.
Yeah, because on track, these two seem to be our closest battle.
for sure. Now 7.3 seconds. JK85 pulling away from Rick here now.
ATB had a little bit of a moment out of the hairpin, but still there as might just be me, but it seems like it's starting to get a little dark.
Indeed it is. The light definitely fading slightly here at Laguna Seca. Some cloud cover coming into the mix, so track cooling down. That is definitely going to be beneficial for those that are on the racing soft compounds. Gonna allow for their tires to not quite have such a high degradation due to those track temperatures coming down currently.
Now I see a wild Mr. Racing coming to say hello.
Indeed he is. Indeed he is.
So this could get interesting. With a Merc, a GTR, and a BMW. All fighting for 7th place. Must have our Rick coming up behind them as well. Because they're starting to get some occasional blue flags, so I imagine that's probably Rick. Okay, yep, it is indeed Rick. But yeah, we're down to 8 laps of racing, so less than 10 to go. Oh. Oh. What's that?
Coming to the corkscrew, very hot does ATB and Mr. Racing. Both really holding good, strong lines there, and there is a battle going on, as you said, for P7 currently. 3 racers contending for that position. Mr. Racing does take a look to the inside of ATB, but thinks better of it, just falls right back in line, and now he's well within the slipstream of ATB. Are we going to see a move coming into the Andretti corners? ATB not taking a defensive line there. Mr. Racing just going to hold out. Now will he take a look? No, he does not. Into turn 3. Don't hit that sausage curve, boys.
All right. Yeah, it's. Ooh, yeah, it's looking. Let's see. Mr. Racing and ATB are on the same. Okay. Whoa. Johnny Waffle having the moment, and ATB looking to capitalize. And indeed it does.
ATB and Mr. Racing getting around Johnny Waffle there, all in one corner. Fantastic bit of racing here. Now will ATB look to try to make some separation between himself and Mr. Racing? All 3 racers are touching a bit of the dirt there. Johnny Waffle not willing to just give up that position, just all over the back of Mr. Racing still. Great racing here in the mid-pack. Exciting to see with just 6 laps, 5 laps remaining, 6 laps remaining.
Yeah, 6.
Now, is that... No, that is not forward position. Okay. I was going to see, I've seen another Porsche there coming up into the mix. Is that our race leader? No. That's Rick.
Yeah, Rick
in
is
P2.
gone.
Ooh, boy, things are about to get interesting here. Rick, obviously quite quick on still being on those racing mediums, is catching the 3 cars out in front of him who are all on the
Johnny! Oh
racing
no!
softs. And Johnny Waffle gets it wrong there, has a bit of a moment. Meanwhile, Mr. Racing there, taking a look to the inside of ATB and not going to quite get it done. This is a good battle there. ATB picking up an unfortunate half-second penalty. Does go defensive. Mr. Racing trying all he can do to get around the outside. He's going to get it done into the final corner. Looks, they're still side by side. Great racing going on here, and Mr. Racing does get the job done. Moves out in front of ATB there.
Ooh.
ATB not done. He is not going to give that up just yet. Still right there, all up in Mr. Racing's business. Most unfortunate half-second penalty there for ATB. Gonna have to serve that as we are approaching a very critical sector for these guys. Does give up some ground there. Mr. Racing pulling away considerably there in those last 2 corners there. Now, Rick still closing up the gap.
Yeah, he's not too far behind. Maybe about 2.5, 3 seconds.
Lovely to hear the variances in sound from these race cars. 3 different manufacturers, all very closely together, and can hear a definite distinction between those race cars out on track. Absolutely love that. ATB just going to pull over and serve his penalty, which is probably going to allow Rick to get up ahead of him. It's going to be very close, and he does. So Rick does get that move done on ATB there.
Yeah,
and now has to try to get around. Yeah, absolutely. Now going to have to contend with Mr. Racing, though, to try to close this gap between himself and JK, who is, again, looking very racy here today at Laguna Seca. A 12.2 second gap over Rick, and that is going to be a substantial hurdle to try to overcome. Things are looking very good for JK85. He is looked quite racy all race long.
He has, let's see. Then you got Rick right here. See where Nirix is as we're getting down to the last few laps. There's Nirix and also Croatian. Not too far behind. You got those 2 right there, and then a little further back, here's where Salamander's at in 5th. And he's got Angel just right around a second or so behind him. Then obviously we've been on board with Mr. Racing for a fair bit. And like, I guess that would be Nirix behind? No, Rick. Okay. Rick behind him. Because, yeah, we've been riding on board with Mr. Racing and ATB for the most part. Few laps, and then we got Kurt.
And indeed, meanwhile, JK85 extending his racing lead over the rest of the field now to a 13.2, 13.3. And jumping back and forth up to a 13.5 second gap now. JK85 looking very strong with just 2 racing laps to go here. Going to be 1 now on the penultimate lap for JK85. And this is insurmountable for Rick Shear, unless there is some sort of major catastrophe for JK85, it looks as though he has got this stint in the bag. Neriux, they're in P3, also trying to hold off Croatian, who is in P4, 2.5 seconds back, also going to be probably very difficult to get that back. Salamander, meanwhile, in P5. Archangel in P6. Mr. Racing still holding strong in P7 over ATB now. 4.2 second lead is that difference. Turk here in P9. Johnny Waffle having himself another moment, has fallen back to clear back into P10. Unfortunate for him, does get himself back out onto the racing track, with Loris holding out in P11.
But okay,
that is the field for y'all currently. JK on his final lap now, 14.3 second lead.
This will be his end lap.
And again, as earlier pointed out, not having to take any fuel whatsoever for the racers in these Porsches is really, I think, going to give them a considerably strong advantage over the field. And JK85 absolutely still just on a tear, pulling a purple sector there, and fastest lap. Surprisingly, Loris 207 with a 21.622 all the way at the back of the field. You can see that racer clearly has not given up this race either. And JK85 definitely not slowing down for his final lap here. We'll see. Just about to come into it. No, he's fallen off from purple, but still running good and strong out there in P1.
All right, and JK is in. He is now done. 14.
So JK85, great round of racing here for him. Looked very strong throughout the whole of the race. Rick Shear now also coming into the pits in P2. Neriux. Still got some time to go, holding out in P3, 2.3 seconds ahead of Croatian. Hopefully he has a clean bit of racetrack up the Rahal Straight, coming into the corkscrew, looking very strong, and as though he's going to hold on to that, down to just a 2-second lead now over Croatian. 1.9 second. Time is falling off very quickly. Croatian is definitely pushing hard, but I do not think he's going to be able to overcome Neriux, who will come into the pits in P3, followed by Croatian diving into the pits. Just 2 seconds though, for that's pretty decent for his upcoming teammate. So now we'll take a look at Salamander. Ooh, Salamander coming under threat from Archangel, and they're both going to dive into the pits on their final lap. Back to Mr. Racing and ATB. Mr. Racing's definitely going to hold out and come into the pits in P7.
And
indeed he does. It'll be ATB.
ATB, well done, sir.
Yep, and comes into P8. Turk also coming into the pits in P9. Loris. Oh, Loris gains a position over Johnny Waffle now. All race long, you can see that man not giving up the race. Still got a lap. No, they're going to come into the pits. Loris does gain a position there at the very end of this race. So it's Loris in P10 and Johnny Waffle in P11. Wow, great racing here at Laguna Seca today.
Hope everyone enjoyed this. Since I'm not a big enough channel, I don't have a means to redirect people. Let's see, get the link for it. It's back on the IRO channel. Let's see if I can. But yeah, that's gonna be it from my side. Let's see if I can grab the link. And yeah, the joys of being a smaller channel. If I was a big enough channel, I could. Oh well. All right, and I'll just post it in the chat for anyone that needs a link. And here we go. All right, so that's going to be it from us in Split 2 for Stint 1. Hope you enjoyed. Go to the link. I'm about to wrap things up and then I'll tell you. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. And with that being said, thanks for joining me, Rick. And if I don't speak to you again today, I hope you have a good one.
Indeed, you as well,
you.
sir. Very enjoyable getting to be in the comms booth with you again. Again, my apologies to everyone for being late to the show today.
No
Definitely
worries.
had some major obstacles to overcome.
Yeah, life happens, but yeah, it happens. So, but all the same, hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll take care of the lobby. Enjoy the racing for the rest of the day, everyone. See ya.